Why are sensory activities in and of themselves meaningful when somebody is living with brain changes? Well, getting data in means you then have data to work with. And when you have data to work with, then you got to do something with it so you can do something about it. So this idea of sensation in, sensation through, sensation out, or movement out really is critical when we're talking about how we live in the world around us. And the world around us is made of things that we take in. So understanding what sensations are and how we can get somebody to focus in on a sensation really gives meaning to what the person is doing. And it can make life a whole lot more reasonable when we know what they're able to do and what they're not able to do. And the way to figure that out is give them some sensory activities. Try some things and see what happens. So what we're going to do is when we're using sensory activities, we want to make sure these activities are short, they're simple, they're small. We want to make sure we're controlling the space in which somebody is working and the social setup where it's happening. Is it a one-on-one or a small group? Is it something I do at the beginning of a day or later on? You know, it can make a difference. And we want to be really tuned into which sensations are we exploring. Are they multi or are they only one at a time? So I'm going to share with you that there are 8 different sensory systems. And most of you go, no, there's only 5. And it's like, well, there are 5 ones that we recognize really quick. Vision, hearing, then we have movement and touch. And those are combined, they're tricky. Then we have smell and taste. So those are our 5 basics, but let's go back to this movement and touch because we have vibration. And people even without hearing can feel vibrations, and different kinds of vibrations give us different information about the world around us. Temperature. Knowing temperatures of things make a big difference. Boy, do I want to know as a care partner whether you pick up on temperature variation or I've got to modify the environment for safety. Then we have things like texture. Is this a smooth texture or a rough texture? Because what can happen is if I don't like the feel of my clothes on me, I'm suddenly taking clothes off. And it's like, wow, I didn't realize the texture mattered that much to you. Or do I have any awareness of texture? And so I could touch something and that's a really rough surface and I could keep rubbing back and forth across it and I don't realize I've created blisters or actually broken the skin because I'm not aware of texture. Now, the movement one, that actually requires not only movement, I'm moving something, but I move in the world around me, which means I have to take into account gravity and balance. So me balancing, but me being aware of gravity. So when I pick something up and I bend over, how's that work for me? How's it work for you? Because if you haven't figured out what my skill is, I could end up spilling whatever I bent over with because I can't keep this upright while I do that. You as a care partner, you want to know this stuff. Then we get to things like smell and taste, because that's really going to impact what I might be interested in taking in and whether or not I notice what's coming out. Not taste-wise, but smell-wise. And yeah, unfortunately, at some point, it might even make a difference. So what kind of activities could we be looking at? Well, we can look at one at a time, or we could put a combo together. So things like textures could be blankets, they could be finding things in things, so we could put rice in a bowl and then put objects in it and see whether or not I can locate those things. Do I notice? We could use things like spices, allowing somebody to smell something, knowing what they used to enjoy and going, oh, well, she didn't even pick up on that. And it could be really important to know what draws me and what makes me interested, because then you could decide what I might be interested in tasting. Now, tasting in and of itself could be really important. If I love certain flavors, you may want to look at the environmental support so that you can manage how much of that is available. And if I don't like other flavors, how can you get things hidden away in something else so that I'm still taking in nourishment in the way you want me to, by tuning in to what my sensory abilities are. Complicated? Yeah, but that's how human brains work. And if you're going to become my partner, we've got to figure this out together, because I can't always tell you about it. And you won't always notice if we don't explore this pretty carefully, so we know not only what can I do, what am I having trouble with, but what gives me pleasure. Because the two of us better find ways to find joy in being alive, or this is going to get real old real fast.